Hey, welcome to Gunner's Firearms. We're here with Maggie, of course.
Good morning, Internet.
Yeah.
Hello, Internet.
Hello, good morning. Well, hey, Maggie, we were talking about ammo. I just kind of asked you what's new with calibers or something, and you broke out some 45 ACPs here. But these are really interesting. So I'm going to let you talk about these for a second because I had not even heard of these before. These are new.
Yeah, these were pretty new to us. We were first introduced to this company in 2024. And there's a reason not a lot of people have heard about this. They do not have a whole lot of cartridges out on the civilian market.
Okay.
So they have some contracts for military and law enforcement, so you will not see a wide range of this ammo out there for civilian use. What you can get for civilian use is 45 ACP,
Okay.
40 Smith & Wesson, and 9mm.
All right.
And the 40 Smith & Wessons, those are actually pretty cool for what they are. So these are a proprietary bullet. And most of us think of a bullet as being a lead projectile covered in some sort of copper coating, or the newer bullets that we've been used to might even be a compressed polymer with some sort of metallic in sort of the compressed polymer and everything like that shatters on impact. Pretty nasty frangible stuff. Cool stuff. SimX is doing things a little bit differently. If you're familiar with non-Newtonian fluid,
No.
this is actually going to be a kind of familiar to you. So that non-Newtonian fluid is when your kids go to school and they mix up the cornstarch and water in science class and they're told to poke it with their finger real slow, and they can get their finger to like poke down into the fluid. But then when they use force and try to poke that fluid, it reacts like a solid.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So high velocities, this stuff is solid. At a sub velocity, it's a liquid. And it's very, very lightweight. So they are using a proprietary non-Newtonian fluid, and inside that copper shell is that proprietary fluid. So what it does is make an extremely lightweight bullet in a copper copper bullet, encased in a copper bullet, and then inserted into a standard brass case.
That just looks really normal. And it was interesting because when you first started talking about this and you said they were selling these to the military, I was thinking, well, like the military, like they were to use these in a wartime, they can't use like hollow points or, it's
that's ball ammo.
Work right. This is ball ammo.
That's ball ammo.
That's what's so cool about it. Gosh, that weighs like nothing.
So
and like here's 50 rounds.
I have a standard box of 230 grain full metal jacket 45 ACP projectiles here. SimX has a 78 grain full metal jacket complete cartridge with a standard powder charge. Standard powder, same amount of powder that is used in your 230 grain, but it's 78 grains and a standard powder charge. These things are zipping real fast. So
what are we looking at in velocity here?
Like 1,800 feet per second. Instead of that,
45 ACP, where are they normally about
950 is the average.
I was going to say about 900 to 1,000.
Yeah, they're about 950
average
that
weight
per
difference.
Second. So
that's significant.
Imagine carrying your 45 ACP, and instead of that heavy 230 grain, now you have a lightweight 78 grain with a higher velocity. These two cartridges use the exact...
Those are 45 as well.
So these are all 45s that I've got here. So these use the exact same even
but it's
cartridge holder.
Yeah.
check
That just
this.
weighs
So that's the
nothing.
same printed cartridge holder.
Wow, that's a big difference.
It
Like
is-
just looking at the weight of those two things is incredible.
Huge difference. So the velocities that you're looking at here, over 1,800 feet per second, that would be the defense rounds, with an energy transfer of 532 foot-pounds of energy. That is, and the better part is, this is not a plus P round. There is not extra powder in that.
Love it.
So when you're comparing to like your TAC XPDs, your Gold Dot plus Ps, your XTPs plus Ps, your Critical Duty plus Ps, those have extra powder in them. And not all firearms are rated for extra powder. And in fact, best case scenario with those extra powder charges in a gun that's not rated for it, you rattle the gun loose from the inside out. Worst case scenario, it explodes in your hand while you're pulling the trigger. Neither of those are ideal in any situation. So you are using a standard powder charge and you're not gonna hurt your firearm whatsoever, and you are getting...
it weighs nothing. It almost weighs like just if you picked up brass off the ground without a bullet in it.
It feels so light.
So light. So the only difference between these two bullets is this is the bullet itself is lead, and you can actually, of course, see lead in there. And then this is just that liquid. What do you call that liquid again?
Non-Newtonian fluid.
Non-Newtonian fluid. You know, one thing that I find, because right away when I was looking in here and I'm looking at the lead and I'm looking in here and feeling this weight, is federally and statewide in the state of Missouri, and I'm sure this is the case in many other states, you can't hunt on much state ground or federal ground with any lead because of waterways and things like that. And I don't know if you've ever tried to find bullets without lead. It's almost impossible at times.
It is.
And this is an abundance of this stuff.
When you do find those, you're expecting to pay a premium for them, higher price per bullet. So I would just like to...
I mean, is that similar? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, it's $1 more.
It's $1 more.
For 50 rounds.
For 50 rounds of the Simex versus 50 rounds of your standard.
And $1 more for the self-defense.
And here's another wonderful thing about those light grain weight, lightweight bullets. They are faster. They have less recoil. So your follow-up shots are faster. And I actually do have a kind of cute little story. I have a couple of regulars that are in here on just a daily, weekly basis, multiple times a day, every week. And I see these guys a lot. They actually qualify for their church security team throughout the year. They do training and everything like that. And on qualification, one fella generally outshoots the other fella. And it just, and so the younger guy's like, yeah, old man, you know, hey, I'm still out shooting you, you know, you maybe practice a little harder. So the guy picks up a box of the Simex and takes that to qualification, just like, hey, I'll try this out. You guys got it in, it's new, I'm curious. First time on qualification that he ever outshot the younger fella. He goes, yeah, faster follow-up shots.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to get.
Tighter shot grouping. And he is not the only one that has come back and given us that kind of feedback. But I have had multiple customers come back and tell me, you know, when they do comparative shooting, mags of Simex versus mags of whatever else their standard target ammo is, and they notice a smaller shot grouping, they notice, if at all, but a lot of times they'll say, yeah, there's a lot less recoil to these. These are really fun to shoot. I'll take a few more boxes of those.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so this is actually a really cool development in ammunition.
Well, gosh, Maggie, this is cool. I love this because I've been reading about, you know, new innovation in ammo, and, you know, this is new, and there's all this effort going into just making better ammo. And I'm glad to see here it is. So thank you so much for sharing this with us. I'm gonna take a couple of boxes home. I'm gonna try this out on the range, and I'll do a follow-up video
I would
for sure.
love to know.
This is cool. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to just carrying it around all day and taking. I'd almost like to weigh a gun full with like Winchester and another one with Simex. That's great. All right, so we're gonna weigh these real quick. And what were you saying about the packaging?
So I do want to draw some attention to the packaging on these. This is an injection molded plastic packaging, and this one is a much lighter weight styrofoam packaging. So
right.
let's go 50 rounds of modern on the scale right there.
So let's say 205.3.
There you go. All right, and please bear in mind here, we have different packaging.
So this has a heavier package.
This has a slightly heavier packaging, but this is a submass bullet.
Gosh, half with the plastic. Half the weight with the plastic. Well, gosh, Maggie, thank you so much for sharing this. And,
Absolutely.
We'll just keep on talking.
All right. Until
right.
next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Internet.
Bye-bye.